going to go ahead and prestige. There's like 2 hours before I'd hit the next reward points, so it's probably not worth sitting here for that long just to do it. If I was going to let it run overnight or something, maybe it'd be worth it, but for now we're just going to prestige, and then I think I'm going to focus on building a bigger factory and not prestiging as often, because it seems to be a different strategy, I guess. So anyways, let's go ahead and prestige. We'll get 36 rewards points. We're going to say okay, see if it actually works. Looks like it actually worked that time. Hit the skills. We have 38 points to spend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely do the throughput one. Increase edge throughput to 16, so we're going to buy that. 24, it's not a great increase there. I have 35 points to spend. I think I'm going to do this parcel node connections by 50%, so this will, a lot of them are limited to 2 connections. This would limit it to 3, so that could be very beneficial. You could have 2 coming in, 1 coming out. I've been having a hard time with that, so I'm going to go ahead and buy that one. 50 prestige points, wow. So that leaves us with 20 points. We could do the parcel limit by 20%. That doesn't seem very promising. Start with advanced parcel. It's not too hard to unlock that, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Otherwise, we could, I couldn't even do this one. So I guess we'll do these 2. We'll buy this one. Why am I not allowed to buy it? There we go. And there we go. We have 4 prestige points left. So, as per directions, we're going to prestige again, just to make sure that they are applied correctly. Check and make sure. Last time I had to restart to get them to work. So I'm thinking I might restart just to be safe, since I'm going to build a rather large factory this time. So I'm going to restart and then start setting up some parcels and touch base with you. Alright, we're here after the prestige. You can see it did work, but instead of having 8 connections to the headquarters, we have 12 connections to the headquarters, so it did increase it by 50%. So that's good there. I think what I'm going to do is actually build, we have 102 building slots available in this building. I'm going to put bricks and iron plates and gears inside here, I guess, for now, until I run out of space, because I was kind of limited by throughput, although I guess my throughput is now a lot higher. What do I have it up to? 24. Pretty sure it's 24 right now. We'll increase it to 32. So I guess 24 is pretty good. So maybe I'll put them on the outside. But we're going to get that construction materials build up first, because that is what we're going to need to build everything. Alright, so the first thing I did was set up a power parcel. All it has is coal miners and coal power plants to get us going. And then in the headquarters here, I've decided to just build the basic materials, bricks, iron plates, gears, and copper cables. Use up some of these 100 slots we have, and work towards the research center. The research center I'm going to put on a separate parcel, I think, and ship stuff in that way. Next up was to get a research center going. So this is a research center, and also making the gears for the red science. The copper cables are being produced in this parcel and being sent over. It's just producing at 1 per second right now, but that's good enough to get us started, so we can do some research right away, which we'll need the steel mill, a Gen 1 chip plant, definitely, and we might as well do the advanced parcels. And 300, we're only 19 short of the increased parcel limit to 14, so we might as well wait a second to complete that, and then we will start working on green science. There it is there, so there we go. So now I think we'll probably amp up building supplies first before we start green science. Alright, so I've got gears being produced outside, as well as steel being produced outside, being pumped into headquarters. Started an advanced parcel down here for Gen 1 chips. We're going to have a couple of these, so I'm going to show you the blueprint real quick. This is what we reviewed before, but I just select Gen 1 and I click. Of course, I probably don't have enough stuff to buy it, so I'm a little short on steel right now, so I gotta wait till the steel comes up. Bricks I have just enough. Gears I have plenty, and iron plates I have plenty. So once this comes up, all I have to do is hit buy, and it'll put all the buildings I need for Gen 1 chips times 2 in here. So that would be 2 Gen 1 chip factories, and it'll be producing to ratio. So super simple, but I do have to wait for materials to build up. This is what I talked about before, though. I'm constantly waiting on stuff to be produced. So I'm going to try to get that second construction facility up and running sooner than later, but I need that node parcel to do that, which is... Where is that at? Remote construction, oil processing, large parcel, node parcel right here. So I need 110 green science and 600, so it's not too far away. So we'll just have to struggle through it until we get to that point. Alright, so I daisy chained 2 steel factories together. This one makes 4 per second, which is the most I can make in the advanced parcel. 68 to 77 buildings, so I couldn't fit another batch in. But so that just imports to this one, and then it takes this one, and this one makes 4 per second as well, so it imports 8 per second to the headquarters. So we'll speed it up a little bit. Back to the Gen 1 chip factory. We're not quite there yet. What are we short on? Got plenty of steel. Oh, now we're short on bricks because I built all that stuff. So, wait some more. I built a whole bunch of more kilns in the headquarters to produce bricks, so we're producing them at 10 per second now, so I didn't have to wait too long. But now we can just click buy. You can see there's nothing over here right now. When I click buy, it takes care of everything I needed. All I gotta do is save up materials to build one more Gen 1 chip factory because I am a little bit short on storage for building the second one. As you can see, I have all the materials I need now, so once I increase the storage, I'll be able to add that second Gen 1 chip factory into the thing, but right now I can't store enough bricks and steel to, actually it's bricks, I guess. I can't store enough bricks to build 2 Gen 1 chip factories in one, but it's the only thing I'm short on, so we can go ahead and build that. That's just like that, so now I have to do that 2 more times for green research up here. I'll put 2 Gen 1 chip factories here. We got to make sure we set these to export. So there we go. Now you can see our throughput is much higher now. Once it burns through the inventory, it's producing 1.6 per second, which doesn't really sound right. Should be 1 per second, so what am I missing here? Oh, I'm probably short on energy. Yep, energy's short, so we got to go back and build I believe I'm out of room on this one. Yeah, 26 parcels, so let's add another parcel. We'll do an advanced parcel this time and make more power. One of the advantages of building the materials outside of the headquarters is for steel. For instance, the headquarters is full of steel, so now this is producing steel, and it'll back up steel. So when we go on a building spree, we'll have this full of steel, this full of steel, and this full of steel. So we'll have a lot of steel to burn through. If we were just making it in the headquarters, we would only have what's in the headquarters to build with. So it probably makes sense to put another brick factory out here to have an extra buffer of bricks, so that when we burn through bricks, we can just import them just as quickly back into headquarters, and hopefully not wait as long to have to build items. Alright, I've got some empty parcels set up here. These are going to make Gen 1 chips, ship them to the Green Science Laboratory, which is going to make Green Science here. We'll have to produce, it inputs Gen 1 chips and copper cables, so we'll put the Green Science Laboratory here, and then we'll make copper cables on this parcel because it uses 12 per second, so of course now that we have the increased edge throughput, we could make another factory, but we're going to have extra room on this parcel anyway, so we might as well build it here. But with the help of blueprints again, should be super simple. All we should have to do is go buy this one. And we're already making Gen 1 chips, so we can just make sure we're outputting them by the extra Gen 2 chip factory. And we'll wait till the bricks build back up, but you can see they're climbing pretty quickly because of the way we have it set up now. So when that builds back up, we'll build the second one here and input that to the green science factory. See, it's already halfway there, so it's not taking very long, so the new setup's working nicely. In the meantime, we'll set up copper cables and stuff here, which will be green science, and then we'll export green science to the research lab. So that'll be set up in no time. Taking a look at the research, we have red science being made here, and it's capped at, the storage is limited to 1062 on the basic parcel. So if we take a look at the research menu, that's a problem because to unlock Gen 2 chips, we need 1500 research at one point. And we don't have that, we only have 1062 as a cap. So my solution around that right now is I'm going to add a second advanced parcel here, put a research lab on here. I'm going to move let's turn this off for now. I'm going to move to making red science here and then sending it to both of these, so that way the way it'll work is whichever one you connect first, it'll fill that one first. Once that one's full, and only once that one is full, we'll start sending materials to the second parcel. So I'm going to move the red research to here and have it go to here and here. So once I get to that point to set it up, I'll come back and show you. Alright, so this is set up to make red research now. It has copper cables coming in from here. Gears are being made inside of it, so right here, 4 gear presses will produce the 2 per second we needed for red science. And red science will be shipped here first. Since I do this connection first, it'll send it here first. Right now it's saying 0 per second because this is full. And then over to here second. So it'll produce, it's sending to my inventory now to this one. So this one you can see is 1 per second to here. But if I draw it down to here, it's going to show 0 per second. Because this one's not full yet, so it's going to fill this one with 1 per second. Once this one is full, and only once this one is full, will it send it down to the second connection. So it's a little hard to remember which one you did it, but that's why those numbers are like that. It does not split it evenly. It has to fill up one before it fills up the next one. But that should give us, the advanced parcel should give us a lot more than 1,000 capacity storage, so we'll have to see where this number maxes out at and decide if we want to get rid of the other building or not. So now that research is set up, let's go spend some of that hard-earned research points. We've got quite a bit built up, so 1,500 of each basically. So I might as well complete the last red research. And let's see, we have construction hub. I guess we'll need that when we do the node parcels. We actually have enough to do the node parcels now if we wanted to. Is there anything else we need first? We need all of it, so I guess we'll just go right down the list here. Let's unlock oil refining. Let's unlock the node parcels. Production challenges we want to get up and running pretty soon, so we have time to build those up. But let's do this one. And I guess that's, we only have these two left. We'll reduce energy consumption again. I guess actually we're out of red science, so I guess we'll wait till that builds back up. So now that we have unlocked the node parcel, I think we can, these are not being active because the storage is full, so let's try adding one and see if we can make use of this. I'll call this building materials or something like that. Put a construction hub on it. It's only allowed one building on this building. Actually it says 2, but that's because of our prestige bonuses, so that's nice. And go back to the map here and let's just drag these so that they're always producing. Bricks, gears, steel for sure. And see, these steel factories are producing at 4 per second, so we could actually add a third one to this chain, because these can transport up to 24 per second, so we could actually do 6 of these if we really want to do. But so this will give us double the amount of supplies we can have, and we'll just have to see what the storage maxes out on here. Looks like not a lot. Might not be worth it. 312. Yikes. Yeah, because it's untransferring, so it doesn't store anything at all. So, totally not worth doing it. So I don't really know what the use for those node parcels would be then, because the storage is so minimal that it wouldn't make sense to do it for much. We'll get rid of this. We'll maybe put an advanced parcel here or something. Actually, I think I unlocked large parcels even. I assume that their inventory storage is much larger. So let's try that and see. Be a lot of wasted slots on here though, because there's 102 slots and I'm only using one of them, but we'll just have to keep an eye on this and see if we'll see what this maxes out at and go from there, make our decision based on that. So it looks like the large parcel is the way to go. It has capacity of 3,437, which is very similar to the headquarters. Actually, it's exactly the same, 3,437. So that makes sense to have a store construction hub there. You just keep in mind it does, if you want to do any kind of production, it does decrease production by 30%, so it is quite a penalty to have stuff there. So it's kind of a waste of a large parcel, but at the same point we need the building materials. So I'm probably going to add a second chain of gears and bricks, so that when I start building like crazy, it's not going to take as long to produce materials to build with. So that's up next, and then we'll work towards blue science, I believe. Alright, so I doubled up all the materials just to make things move along faster. And I've tried to stretch these out so that these numbers are easier to read, but it looks like these are tinted purple. I guess that probably means that we can use the materials globally and not just locally in the parcel, so something to note. So I'm going to go up here and we're going to create a parcel for blue science for making Gen 2 chips actually first, and then we'll create a blueprint out of that once we figure out the ratios and set up something similar to this, because I believe, just click on here, Gen 2 chips we have not unlocked it apparently, but blue science requires 4 Gen 2 chips, which is a similar ratio as the green science, which was 4 Gen 1 chips, so we'll need 4 per second coming in there. So let's check research real quick, see if I need to unlock that yet. Production challenges, we definitely want to get that going, so maybe we'll work on that next. And then Gen 2 chips, 1500, so I just used some chips, so I'll have to wait till they come back up to 1500, but it won't take long. So you can't delete parcels currently, so I just, this node parcel right here, I just labeled as empty and threw it over here so we know it's nothing on it. And I created another parcel up here, an advanced parcel. Let's build the production challenge plant and see what lucky cards we're drawn with. From my understanding is these challenges are random, so copper ore, red science, and quartz. So quartz is worth 14 points, so we might go after that one. Copper ore is only worth 6 points. Red science is worth 18 points. That's pretty good too. Red science is a little bit more involved to build though, so I don't know. I think we might do quartz. Let's take a look at quartz real quick. Quartz just requires 3 stone miners. So we could probably set that one up pretty easily. Copper ore is obviously just copper miners, but it would take, it takes a while to, once you hit the 18 points, it basically takes forever to, I don't know. I've done copper before. Let's try quartz. Hopefully I don't regret that, because you can't change it until you prestige again. So I'll set that up while I'm waiting for the research points to build back up. Alright, so I maxed out that parcel, basically 19 quartz per second. Required 57 stone miners. It took exactly 77 buildings. So we're good to go there. We're just going to let that run in the background now and hopefully build up rewards points as we go. Let's take a look back at the research, see if we've gotten to the point where we can unlock Gen 2 chips, which we have. Do that. We'll do... Looks like we have enough for this one as well. So that's all the red and green science now. Everything requires blue science. So we're going to have to get Gen 2 chips up and running next. And then we can start working at blue science. So I've worked out this parcel for 2 Gen 2 chip plants. Has everything required. It's kind of a weird number of oil wells because it requires 10 oil wells to make one refinery work, but I don't need one whole refinery. I only need 2/3 of a refinery to work, so that's why there's only 7 there. So this is showing negative, but it's actually still producing Gen 2 chips at the full 2 per second because it is supplied adequately. So I think I can't do 4 Gen 2 chip plants here because there's not enough buildings. I would need 128 buildings and there's only 102. So I'm going to save this as a blueprint. Now let's see if I can... So there's the blueprint there, 64 buildings in it. We're going to hit edit so we can rename it. Call it Gen 2 chip times 2. And then we can edit here if we need to in the future, but for now we're going to say done. And now when I build the next parcel, so I'll go to the map here. That's this parcel here. We're actually going to move this one down here and supply them to the hub, I think. But I'll create 2 more parcels up here. And there's plenty of extra room in these ones, so I could actually probably finagle some... I think blue science requires sulfur. So we'll probably do some sulfur production in here as well, and then ship it off to a factory making blue science. So now when we go to map, we can just add some parcels and turn these into Gen 2 chip factories pretty easily. Click on it. I apparently didn't change the name. There's 64 buildings. Let's try changing the name again. Gen 2 chip times 2. I hit close instead of save, so now we go there. So now Gen 2 chips, Gen 1 chips, Gen 2 chips, and now I can see that I'm short on. Here's the problem with storage. So it requires 10,000 bricks to build that blueprint, and I only have 6,000 in storage. So I'm going to have to go through and edit this blueprint so that it's actually times 1. And that way we'll hopefully have enough. We have, it looks like, enough of everything except for gears or bricks and steel. So I'll have to edit this blueprint so that I can build it more easily. So I basically had to remove all the bioreactors, which is 40 of them, from the blueprint in order to be able to afford it. So I'll have to figure out ways in the future to stockpile more storage so that these blueprints become more useful, because right now they're very limited by my storage capacity. So maybe I look at using some prestige points to increase the storage capacity, or I look at using parcels just based for storage. We'll have to look into that and figure it out. But right now I can build this, and I just have to go back through and add the 40 bioreactors that are needed for this. But as you can see, I have to wait for materials to flow through because I have some stored up, but they're just not in the... I'll show you, they're just not in the store in the headquarters or the parcel. So you can see I'm transferring 24 per second here and 24 per second here. So I do have some built up in my buffer, but I just have to wait till they get transferred at 24 per second into the storages. So I'll get that set up. This will be Gen 2 chips, and we'll do a blue science factory and pump that into the research centers. Alright, so I got blue science up and running. Take a quick look at it. I have one Blue Science laboratory in each one of these parcels. They're only actually outputting at half capacity. I'm using 89 of 102 slots, so I couldn't build enough buildings in here to do full capacity, but it worked out so that I basically took the Blue Science requirements, so sulfur 8, so I made sure this is producing 4 sulfur and 2 Gen 2 chips. So I have 2 Gen 2 plants down here that we were doing before, that I showed you on the blueprint on. And I just added some sulfur plants, which require oil wells and oil refineries. I won't bore you with the numbers, but it does work out to basically be 2 Gen chips per second, or 2 Gen chip plants operating, which gives you half a Blue Science per. And as you can see, they're operating at, it's fluctuating between 0.43 and 0.57, which if you average that out, it's 0.5. So between the two of these, they're giving us 1 per second Blue Science. So let's go ahead and go and spend some of that. We'll upgrade the challenge limit to 2. That way we can double our prestige points. Let's see. What we really want to do is this. I guess let's just do this now. This high Gen 3 chip plant. So we can start looking at that. It's going to use quite a bit of red science to do that, but upgrade parcel limits to 24, mine as well. Let's see, reduce energy consumption by 8%, sure, why not? High-tech parcels, we have enough to do it, yep, so that sounds good, let's have at it. And that leaves us with 2 research left. It looks like we can do upgrade parcel limit to 29, or we can reduce energy consumption by 8%. Let's do this one. Upgrade parcel limit to 34. Wow, it just keeps going. Reduce energy consumption by another 8%. Let's do that one. And very shortly we'll have enough to do this upgrade parcel limits to 34. So, and then we'll take a look at, so we should have plenty of room to build now. We were getting close to the capacity limits before, but now we have plenty of parcels to work with. So that's good stuff there. Blue Science paid off. Let's look at that one real quick, see if we can do it now. So that completes all the research for that required red, green, and blue. Next ones are going to require purple. So we'll have to start looking at that probably next. So that's going to do it for this episode. We got a nice little research branch set up here. We have some construction materials basically being generated down here. A lot of stuff daisy chained together to get us the increased speed of production so that we don't not waiting forever to build. And we have some power production over here. Before we end the episode, let's check the challenge. We've gotten 42 reward points already. We have a ways to go. It looks like we're 140,000 out of 1 million. So that one's got a ways to go. I don't know if we'll get there on that one or not, but I think we'll start working on Gen 3 chips next. So that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching.